We're reading. Oh, Mama, he's gonna read again. I want that boy. I want him to know right now. I'm not gonna tolerate you around here, boy. Get up and go. You got the devil in you, boy. We're gonna read the Evangelist, and what we're reading right now is something that I'm getting older and older and older, and I would look forward to something like this. And look at it's Sarah Swaggart. Daddy, look at it, Sarah Swaggart. No. And what we're doing is we're reading dynamic achievements. And the reason why I'm reading this is for anyone who's married, if they're going to work on their marriage and all that, and we do it together. Because I've never been married, but one day I would like to be. I'm looking forward to the thought that I could probably be married. I don't know who out there might like me, but hey, it's possible. So, when two are committed to the same thing, a dynamic power is produced. Scripture tells us that if two can agree concerning anything, mighty deeds become possible. And when husband and wife as a team agree together, they can experience the fullest possible demonstration of that promise. Countless times there has been discouragement, and it seems as though quitting might be best, but Francis has always encouraged, inspired, and helped me. I know this is what God intended. Man needs a help me, and Francis has consistently filled that role. I wish I could tell you of the hardships and sacrifices she has endured, that we might together proclaim the gospel. And going into evangelistic work was difficult. Traveling with a child and trying to train and teach him while on the road was difficult. That probably was Donnie. Many times the church basements or church apartments in which we stayed were far from clean, and conditions were often discouraging. Yet Francis never once entertained the thought of stopping or turning back. Night after night, she and Donnie were on. I knew it was Donnie. So night after night, she and Donnie were unfailingly in attendance at the service. She went because she knew I needed her, and this helped me so much more than anyone could ever know. The marriage partnership is so necessary. This particular one has resulted in millions of souls. I get this close because my microphone is not that good, and this microphone is not working that good. Now I don't know what happened. I must have dropped it or something. So I'm using the mic on the system here, the laptop system. So that mic's making me angry. I'm gonna have to get another one. Anyway, back to. So this particular one had resulted in millions of souls being touched and stirred. The dedication and help of my wife has been, to a very large degree, responsible for this. This is what God has ordained. Marriage is so honorable. There is a fellowship, there is a partnership, there is a love, and we seek it. You know, a lot of people seek love in homosexuality, lesbianism, bisexuality, transsexuality, and I have to say that the transsexual is not allowed to sit in the congregation of the church, but I haven't read anything as of yet that states that they're not allowed to go to heaven. And we know that the wages of sin is death, so more than likely everyone in wickedness or evilness or in some manner will be forgiven after death. I know that sounds ugly. It's just like, what are you saying, man? You're saying I have to die to get to heaven? More than likely, yeah, a lot of us are going to have to die to get to heaven. And that's really an ugly thing to think about, because when you think about it, you say, I got to die to get to heaven? Come on. But that's not so bad, because death is short. Do you know that in the last days of the candlestick 6 and 7, because I would believe we're in the 5th candlestick, and some people say, well, the sun's not giving off its light. No. The sun and the moon will not shine 1/3 of the day. That's what it says. It's not giving off its light. It will not shine. Right now, it's not. The stars and all that are shining the way they're supposed to, but because you can't see them. But if you look closely, the stars are still there. They're not shining like they normally do. So we know that there's a marriage taking place, and this one's not this marriage. This one is the marriage of the Lamb. There are people celebrating, I believe, in heaven right now. There are great achievements in united efforts for God as two labor and think and plan together, each helping the other. Everything we do is talked over and planned together. My wife's judgment, wisdom, and advice is valued more than that of anyone else in the world. And we feel that this is the way marriage should be. You make mistakes together. You make proclamation together. You succeed together, or you fall together. Then you get back up and help each other. Oh, we fell. Let's get up. And the institution of marriage is a God-ordained ideal. Okay, so you're wondering, okay, so if you think there are people in heaven, we're left behind. No. God says that the dead will be lifted in Christ first, then the Gentile, then the Jew. Now remember what religion you're following. You're following this Jewish guy by the name of Jesus. That makes you a Jew. You're in a Jewish faith, a Jewish religion. That makes you a Jew. I'm not a Jew. Well, I am a Jew. A proper relationship can result in a wonderfully happy home, which is a bit like heaven on earth. It gives a testimony to light a world that needs God's design and plan for the institution of marriage. This is College Classic Campus Hits. Did you just hear what I said? There are people among us that are hurting us spiritually, and you can feel them pricking at you and pinning you. They do this. I have somebody that was in my life that I threw out of my life, and I found out that he wouldn't go to church, and I've invited him to church. We had a house together in Central Los Angeles, but he just didn't want to go to church. And when I did talk him into going to church, so when I came out, someone broke into my station wagon. They broke the windows, and they tore open the hood, and they cut the battery cables and pulled the battery out. And I looked at him and I said, so this is what your people do? If you go to church? I was mad. And I charged him for it. Then another time we went to church, we found the car 3 feet away from the curb. And I told him, did you do that? He goes, I do not think so. I go, I didn't do it. Who did it? I said, you give my keys to somebody else? You're driving my car? So it got to the point to where he broke the window. They just totally thrashed my car because I got him into church. And I asked him, what religion are you? And he says, I am Catholic. My mother is Catholic. And I said, Catholics don't do this. I said, only Islamics do this. I said, are you Islamic? After that, we couldn't live in that house together. It was impossible. I had to move out and go get my own place. I'm very happy where I am now. But before I moved in there with him, I told him. We lived together in Norwalk, where he had a house. And I moved in, and he came to me and said, I want to buy a house. I want you to help me, you and your dad. I said, I would like to do that, but I don't trust you. Last time I lived with you, I got beat on by gangsters in the area, and I told you I didn't want those people around us. And he did the same thing again. We had gangsters around us again. I didn't want that. And so I couldn't live there with him. He endangered my life twice. He endangers people's lives. And then I started feeling, once we moved in here, I started feeling these weird, like, bugs were biting me or something. And I said, what are you, a drug addict? Are you a drug addict? You're one of those devil-worshipping drug addicts? Because I'm a drug addict, but I'm a recovered drug addict. And I used to be around people who were drug addicts who would practice devil worship and stuff, and they would hurt you. And they said, check this out, check out what I can do. Ow, that hurt. How'd you do that, man? And they'd hurt you, and they would think it was funny. Beelzebub. Beelzebub? I don't worship that. Well, don't say you worship God because you're on drugs. I said, no. You don't know nothing about the Bible, man. God, when Jesus Christ came into the world, he didn't sit with the religious people. He sat with the drunkards, the famine, the drug addict, all those people. He healed them. You don't know what you're talking about. It's College Class of Campus Hits. I'm TC Bart. God bless you. You're going to keep messing with me and hurting me, and I'm going to keep exposing you. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to beat you. I'm being kind to you. Being nice to you. But I beat you. I beat you and I take your money. Yes, I do. Just when you think you're going to win, I do. You do. Yes, I do. Just when you think you're going to win, I beat you. Are you a prophet? No, I'm not worried about what you see. Are you a prophet? You've said. Yeah, I've said you're a false prophet. So it's what I say, right? But I tell you again, just when you think you're going to win, I beat you. What I have said. Are your words. Oh, my enemy. You owe me $3,000. I'm going to get it. Not only that, I'm thinking about charging you for those credit cards. All of them. That's over $2,000. Then I'm thinking about taking the car to bed. Look at my floor. I've been living like this for over a year now. I had to pull my curtains out. Took my curtains out, and bed bugs on my curtains. Those are new curtains. I'd pick the other ones out. These are not mine, those are my sister's. Bed bugs. I had to take the curtains out of the kitchen, take the curtains out of all the bedrooms, take the curtains out. I've got the rails, I have everything. Still. I had to pull them down, bed bugs. I spray that couch twice a day. Twice a day. You think I should? I think it's online. I can't go without spraying. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for everything I can get. I'm looking for. Give me my money. You think I'm playing with you? I'm not. Give me my money. Give me my money. I don't care how you do it. Give me my $3,000. Still, I'm $3,000. That's the lowest. Maybe I'll find a job and other stuff will kick in and all that, and I'll be happy. That's not a good thing. I love you. I don't want you to interrupt in my relationship ever again. I would agree.